Weekend coverage of NASCAR Sprint Cup racing action from the Tricky Triangle, and it has been trick or treat. We're still about 3 months away from Halloween, but it has been a tough afternoon for some, and others it has been quite the treat. Up front, the 9 and 11 having a good day. Casey Kane in the 9 car and Denny Hamlin in the 11.
You got a race for the lead now. Denny Hamlin has run down this 9 car. Casey Kane had to make that stop just a little earlier, so he has a few more laps on his tires than Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin's car is so good, though. He's able to go fast when he has fresh rubber on, and the car just doesn't give up. So they really have this thing dialed in, and Denny is doing a great job of wheeling this thing around here. Seen him a couple of times with it, just sliding it through the corners. Not that the car's handling bad. He's just driving the wheels off of it.
I remember something that we did in practice on Saturday. He was not all that optimistic about how he was going to run. He said he didn't feel like he had the car. Here comes Gordon now and Matt Kenseth. Denny Hamlin looking inside on the right-hand side of your screen, looking inside of Casey Kane, going to take that lead away.
And Hamlin will take the lead. We have a 12th lead change for the day among 8 different drivers. Dave?
The word to Denny Hamlin was, save your tires. His word back, I want to get him while the tires are good. So at their freshest, those tires have a lot of grip. And this car that was not good on Saturday, and in Mike Ford's words, they made an in-frame overhaul, they have fixed to come out and lead this race again at Pocono.
Yeah, it's not only good there, he gets out front. He can kind of drive the way that he wants to now. He can save some fuel if they're needing to do that. Plus, he can save his tires a little bit more by being out front.
I like that whole philosophy right there of just striking while the iron's hot, get out there, get that lead, and then you can be in control of the race. See teammates right here, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth.
That is for 6th position. Edwards has taken the spot away from Kenseth. We mentioned Carl hasn't won this year. Matt Kenseth won the first 2 races of the season at Daytona and California.
Well, Matt's struggled somewhat today, but he's found himself because of pit strategy and things up in the top 10, and he's trying to make the most of that. And that's why you saw him just kind of let Jeff Gordon and Carl Edwards go.
Marcus Ambrose trying to hold off Mark Martin for position. Ambrose running in 8th spot.
As we mentioned a while ago, another very solid day for Marcus Ambrose, doing a terrific job here, as is Mark Martin. We've talked about how he hasn't won here today. That really wasn't his focus. They know that they just need to get out of here with a solid top 10. If they can get it in the top 5, that'll be great.
We heard Marcus Ambrose talking about respect. That's the way you gain respect from these veteran drivers. Mark Martin was coming. He pulled over and let him go. And that was a good, smart move by
here's
Ambrose.
The 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. He is being shown 2 laps down in 36th spot. Shannon.
Guys, I wish I had more information for you, but the team just telling me that they had a miss in the engine. One lap, Jimmy Johnson will say that the car does not sound good or isn't running well, and then the next lap, he says it's fine. They did come down pit road. They did not get under the hood. They just had 4 tires and fuel. But one thing, guys, that Jimmy mentioned was maybe there was possibly something in the fuel. What do you guys think about that?
That's a definite possibility, Shannon, and we were speculating some of that because it's been so, up and down for Jimmy Johnson. He can sometimes run, like right now, he's running 56.90s. That's not just maybe a second off of the leader. Earlier, he couldn't even run 60-second laps, so it's just been coming and going for the 48.
Yeah, there's just so many things. I mean, obviously, with all the rain that we had, could some water have gotten in the fuel, but nobody else is really having a problem, so not sure about that. But, yeah, it's kind of strange whenever you get in this situation, and yeah, they'll tear this thing apart on Monday, trying to figure out exactly what, or on Tuesday now, I'm sorry, it is Monday, but on Tuesday, trying to figure out exactly what's wrong with it.
Yeah, and the fact that this engine has not blown up yet kind of tells me that it's not a valve spring or something like that, because a valve spring failure would have already probably caused a total engine failure. And here is the caution now that Jimmy Johnson needs. They need to get in here and look at this car. So this is definitely going to help Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus figure it out.
The 6 car, David Reagan, had some contact with the wall, and that brought out the caution for the 5th time today.
It's like same thing, Bobby Labonte, just up out of the groove right here.
See what David saw looking back at Allmendinger.
He got off of that patch. These guys talking about running in up in turn 3. A little scrape of the wall, maybe.
So the 48s will come on the pit road early because he needs to take a chance, and you give as much time as they can to look and see what do you look, Andy? What's the protocol?
Everything, man. You're going to go in there and look at all the plug wires. They're going to probably change. We heard them say something about changing the distributor cap and the wires. That'll change that whole ignition system as far as the the plug wire system. They have to get this air cleaner off. You're going to look at the carburetor. You see them looking through there.
Get some tape on those cycles.
Make sure they don't have like a booster or some part of the carburetor that's coming apart.
Because it all seems to be in the top end. It's the end of the straightaway from about halfway down that they start losing that. It just doesn't seem the RPMs climb from there.
And Jimmy said it's intermittent.
Even 2 yet, lots of time.
They're keeping up with the leader. This is a good opportunity to get some time to work on this thing.
1,000 RPM, one of the cylinders goes out if not two.
It sounds pretty good right there with no load on it. It doesn't look like they're going to change the distributor cap and wires. They're checking the boosters. There's boosters inside that carburetor that where all the fuel is metered through, and they're checking those things to make sure there's nothing loose or clogged up.
Even with those gloves that those guys have on in the fire suits, and that's still extremely hot working around in that area.
It is. Well, the carburetor itself is fairly cool, but you start getting below that manifold, and everything is hot. I mean, come close to those headers, it'll blister you in a second.
Mark the header tubes. Did you guys mark the header tubes? All right, come on.
Okay, they're just going to get back out on the track now and try not to lose another lap, come back in and work on it. You can see they kept the air cleaner in their hands there. They'll put it back on next stop.
So he'll come back around. The leaders will come on the pit road this time. The 00 Rudiman. Jamie.
And last stop, he made a wedge adjustment. He said it made him so loose, he can't believe how loose it was. So they're going back on that right rear wedge. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Shannon?
Jamie, Kurt Busch has been loose all day, but it's going to be 2 tires for the 2 car. 7.7 second pit stop. Dave.
Try to win. Casey Kane's car is front positive, back slippery, track bar adjustment, and 4 tires. But the 11 car of Denny Hamlin, a 2-tire stop, and he leaves pit road.
The race off of pit road, you see the 2 tires there for Hamlin Edwards. Essentially all the guys there in the top 8. Casey Kane got 4 tires. That cost him 7 positions.
Well, Casey Kane needed tires. He had more laps on his tires than the other guys, and so he had to get 4 tires in that situation.
Caution for the 5th time today on lap 141. The issue with the 6 car was David Reagan.